Okay, good afternoon, class. So today we're looking at the cycle of test 3 that you guys have just written. You just gotten your result back. Yes. Right, it was 1 hour, 50 marks. Okay. Did you didn't get the question right in the exam? Right, let's go. We are told that Jaden starts saving for retirement and pays 800 Rand into a savings account. At the end of each month, after she makes the last payment, she has 844,942 Rand 47 cents in her retirement fund. She receives an interest rate of 6.5% per annum compounded monthly. Determine the number of payments that she makes. In other words, I'm calculating in here the number of payments. So, people, this is an investment. So, it's future value. So, it's x into 1 plus I to the exponent n. Please settle down over I. So she ends off with that amount. So it's 844,942 and 47 cents equals x, which is 800 into 1 plus I, which is 0,065, compounded monthly, so it's over 12, to the exponent 12n minus 1 all over I, which is 0,065 over 12. So we now cross multiply. So we get 844,942,47 multiplied by 0,065 over 12, which is equal to 800 into that product, into that interest factor. Then I divide both sides by 800. Right? So that's gone, So I'm left with minus 1. So we add 1 here. So that is equal to 1 plus 0,065 over 12 to the exponent 12n. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work that out. So it's 844,942.47. That's just multiplied by 0,065 over 12, and that is over 800 plus 1. That's 6,72. Okay? That's 6,72, and of course the number carries on, equals 1 plus 0,065 over 12 to the 12n. So as you know, to make 12 in the subject of the formula, so I'm going to use logs. So that will be log. This will remain the base. So it's 1 plus 0,065 over 12. That's in your base. And here we got 6,72, and the answer, the number carries on. So that would be log the base of 1 plus 0,065 over 12. And that answer there is 352,69. 352,69. Of course, the number carries on. This is 12. If I'm going to divide by 12, it's going to give me years. The question is how many payments needs to be made. So therefore, he makes approximately 353 payments. Okay. 353. People, are there any issues? No? Just circle the question and then I can relook at the way of mark, or if you must be awarded to the mark. Otherwise, I can explain where you have gone wrong. 1.2. Reese, who's this? Nobody. Okay, nice. The person.
Yeah, say that way.
Okay. Alright, she wants to buy a flat. Okay, it's fine. Relax. Okay, it's not a middle name. Leave it. It's not. People, please. She can only afford a monthly payment of 8,000 Rand over a period of 20 years and an initial deposit of 50,000 Rand. What is the highest price she can afford to pay for a house if the interest rate is 9% compounded monthly? People, this is a payment, it's a loan. Okay, so in other words, you must use the present value formula. Whatever amount she can qualify for, okay, wait. So the deposit of 50,000, we'll consider that. Okay. So let's look at this. So the present value formula is P into 1 plus, no, X into 1 minus 1 plus I to the minus N all over I. So the present value is what we're calculating. So that would be 8,000 Rand into 1 minus 1 plus I, 9%, so 0.09 over 12 to the exponent, negative 12 times 20, and this is all over 0.09 over 12. We just punch it in the calculator. So it's 8,000 into 1 minus 1 plus 0.09 over 12 to the exponent negative 12 times 20. This is over 0.09 over 12. Okay, so the loan amount is going to be 889,159 Rand and 63 cents. But remember that she has made a 50,000 Rand deposit as well. Not so. So the maximum amount on the house, the maximum loan amount, will simply be 889,159 Rand and 63 cents plus that 50,000 Rand. Okay. So you say plus 50,000. Okay. Gives you 939,159 Rand and 63 cents. Okay. You guys understand? Let's go to the next question. 1.3. Quarterly payments. So that's made every 3 months. Okay. Quarterly payments of 21,386 Rand 60 cents are required to repay a loan of 850,000 Rand in 20 years. The payment starts 3 months after the loan was granted. Which means to say there's no time delay on this. Why? Because it's quarterly payments. So it happens every 3 months. It's the same as saying you're taking out a loan and you're making a monthly payment starting in 1 month's time. Yeah, it's quarterly payment starting in 3 months' time. It's the same thing. Okay? So there's no variation on that formula there. Payment starts 3 months after granting of the loan. The interest rate is 8% per annum compounded quarterly. Determine the balance outstanding on the loan after 13 years. Simple. Balance outstanding is equal to A minus FV, which implies that you got P into 1 plus I to the exponent n minus X into 1 plus I to the n minus 1 all over I. Okay. So you got 850,000 Rand into 1 plus 0.08 over 12. No, over 4, because that's compounded quarterly. The exponent 4 times 30 minus quarterly payments of 21,386 Rand and 60 cents into 1 plus 0.08 over 4 to the exponent 4 times 30 minus 1, and this is all over I, which is 0.08 over 4. Okay, so you get 850,000 into 1 plus 0.08 and this is over 4 to the exponent 4 times 13 minus 21,386,60 into 1 plus 0,08 over 4 to the exponent 4 times 13, okay? 4 times 13 minus 1, and this is over 0,08 over 4. That gives me a balance outstanding 455,133 and 2 cents. Okay, so it's 455,134 and 2 cents. Okay. Then the question says in 3.1.2, the balance calculated in question 3.1.3, which is this year, is paid in full by an immediate lump sum payment using money inherited from a relative. How much cash has been saved by paying off the loan early? So in other words, 7 years. Okay, so the interest saved is basically going to be for 7 years. She's still going to pay that payment of 21,386 rand and 60 cents. Quarterly payments for 7 years. Where do I get 7 from? 20 minus 30. Okay? And then we're going to subtract. So that is what she still needs to pay in total, minus what is the balance outstanding, which is 455,134 and 2 cents. So we go, 21,386 rand and 60 cents multiplied by 4 multiplied by 7 minus that answer. So she saves in total 143,690 rand and 78 cents. Okay, it's quite saving quite a bit. Okay. Let's look at question 2. Let's make this a bit smaller. So here we are given, we just write the formula down. F of x is equal to ax cubed minus cx plus d. Okay, so the question says a, which is negative 3, let's make it a bit smaller. A, which is negative 3 and negative 4, and b, which is x and y, are the coordinates of the stationary standing points. The function cuts the y-axis at negative. People think the function cuts the y-axis negative 2. What does that mean to say? Your constant is negative 2. Not so. Let's look at the first question. Question says, write down the value of d. And d, of course, is your constant, not so, people. So what is your d value? When d is equal to negative 2. Then it says in 2.2, find f prime of x in terms of a and c. So I apply my derivative, so f prime of x equals 3 times a is 3a minus 1 is going to give you x squared minus c. And remember, d is your constant, or d is negative 2 in this case. And the derivative of a constant is 0. Okay. Let's look at number 3. Question 3 says, hence prove that c was that 27a. Question 3 says, prove that c is equal to 27a. Now, we know that this is your turning point. F prime x is your gradient. F prime of negative 3 is 0. Why? Because it's turning at negative 3. So f prime of negative 3 is equal to 0. So 3a times negative 3 squared minus c is equal to 0. So that's going to give you a positive 9. So it's 27a minus c is equal to 0. So c is equal to 27a. Okay. So we got that. Alright, so need the space here. Okay, so let's look at question 4. The question 4 says, determine the value of A and C. Okay, so we got an equation for A and C here. So in other words, we just need to generate another equation. Okay, and as we know that this is actually a point on the graph. So we know that f of minus 3 is going to give you an answer of 4. Or if I substitute x is minus 3 in the equation, I get the value of 4 up. So 4 is equal to a into negative 3 cubed minus 3 times negative 3 minus 2. So that's going to give you negative 27a plus 3c. They get 2 over is going to give you an answer of 6. So I divide by 3 here. So it's going to give you 2. That's going to give you negative 9a. Give you plus 9a is equal to c. So I divided that also by 3. And this is equation 2. So now we're going to substitute equation 2 into equation 1. Which means to say now that 2 plus 9a is equal to 27a. They get over the equal sign. 27 minus 9, of course, is 18a. Is equal to 2, so a is equal to 1 over 9. So I must still calculate c. I substitute that back into equation 1. So c is equal to 27 times 1 over 9, which is 3. So the a is 1 over 9, and c is 3. So my equation now reads f of x is equal to 1 over 9 x cubed minus 3x minus 2. Okay. That's my equation now. Okay, as you can see, I need the space again. The next question says, let's pull the others up now. (2.5). We are now told given that a is 1 over 9 and c is 3, which means now to say that I am correct from my previous calculation. Okay. Find the equation of the tangent at B. People, the equation of tangent at B will basically be a horizontal line parallel to the x-axis. So whatever this y value is here, that is my equation of that line. So what we do is we say, okay, 2.5, we apply the derivative. So f prime x is equal to a third x squared minus 3. Then I say that equal to 0. I drop that. So a third x squared is equal to 3. Divide both sides by a third, I get 9. We take the square root of that, I get plus minus 3. Okay. Now that girl that asked me, where do I get my questions from? He's sleeping now. Strange. It's very strange. Onele, sit up, Michael. Now, that one? Onela.
There we go.
Yo. Okay. Honestly, Michael, I really feel bad for your partner. Because you say you're working so much through the past papers, but you, no? I feel bad. Okay. So people, what is this? This has to be the positive 3. Not so, because there is a negative 3 one. So what we do is we substitute 3 into f of x. So it's 1 over 9 into 3 cubed minus 3 times 3 minus 2. So you put that in the calculator. You get 1 over 9 times 3 cubed minus 3 times 3 minus 2. Gives you negative 8. So therefore, what's the equation of this tangent? Y is equal to negative 8. Okay? I don't know what you guys did after that, but that is the equation. Why is it y is equal to negative? because it's going through the turning point. Your gradient is 0 there. Okay. Then the last question says, for question 2, we are asked for which values of k will, so we just take that over the equal sign, f of x equals k has 3 distinct roots. People, firstly, what are roots? It's your x-intercepts. For those of you who don't know, make a note there that the roots are your x-intercepts. The roots are x-intercepts. So currently, how many roots are here? 1, 2, 3. Not so. So if we take that into account, how many roots, if I move this down, how many roots are this? Yeah, still 3. And there, 2. And here, 1. Not so, because as you can see that arrow, it will carry on through there. So it's 1. So at this point, is 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2 again. Can you see that? And then 1. So when will it be 3 roots? Remember, this k is actually a y value. So it will have 3 roots where k is equal to 4, or where k is equal to negative 8. It's anywhere between those values. At k is equal to 4, it has 2 roots. At k is equal to negative 8, it also has 2 roots. So anything between them. So therefore, k has to be greater than negative 8, but less than. And that gets you your 2 marks. Yes, Michael? Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next question. A company manufactures metal tortoises to decorate one of their products. The tortoise is made up of a large semicircle with a radius r and 3 smaller semicircles with radius lowercase r. The value of r and lowercase r varies, which means to say it can change, it's variables there, with r plus lowercase r being 300. You see this formula, guys, in terms of capital R. So, firstly, my lowercase r is equal to 300 minus capital R. Okay. So the question says, show that the area of the figure in millimeters square is given by. So if you look at this shape here, it's going to be a semicircle with a radius there, which is half. Normally pi r squared, not so, but because it's semicircles, half of that. Plus 3 little semicircles. Okay, which is plus 3 times area of a semicircle is half pi r squared. But my radius in this case is going to be 300 minus r, it must be squared. Okay. From here, it's about simplifying. So it's 1 over 2 pi r squared plus 3 over 2 pi into, I'm going to take the binomial squared. So it's 90,000, I think. Yeah, 90,000. That times 2 is negative 600 r plus r squared. So it's going to be half pi r squared plus 3 over 2 pi times 90,000 is going to give you 135,000 pi minus 900 pi r plus 3 over 2 pi r squared. Then from there, it's just a matter of adding like terms, which is those two there, which now gives you 4 over 2, which is 2 pi r squared minus 900 pi r plus 1,300, 13,000, no, 135,000 pi. Okay. In question 3.2, the question says, determine the value of r if A, the area of the tortoise, is a minimum. But for the area of a tortoise to be a minimum, we apply the first derivative. Not so. So we apply the derivative. So the derivative of A with respect to R is going to give you 4 pi R minus 900 pi. Derivative of a constant is 0. So that's equal to 0. We drop that. So it's going to be 4 pi R is equal to 900 pi. To get R in its own, I divide by 4 pi both sides. So R is going to give you an answer of 225 millimeters. Okay. Alright. Now we come to our favorite. Probability. Okay, this is the easy marks. I was told. I believe otherwise now. Okay. A recent survey investigated the cause of business bankruptcy. The data collected showed that 40% of the business bankruptcy are caused by a lack of capital, 30% are caused by lack of business ability, B, and 42 can be attributed to neither of these. So if we draw a Venn diagram here, this is what they expected you to have done. If they're talking about percentage, your sample space, of course, is 100%. Okay? So, short of capital is going to be 30%, which means to say that plus that is 30. Okay? Lack of business ability, B, is, no, this is 30%. This is 40 of capital. Which means to say this is X, and this is going to be 40 minus X. This, of course, is 30 minus X. And 42% is attributed to neither, so it's on the outside. And that's the Venn diagram. Using the Venn diagram, determine the percentage of business bankruptcy that is caused by both. So I need both actually equal X. So in other words, all these parts here, 40 minus X plus 30 minus X, plus 42 is going to give an answer 100%. They must all add up to the sample space. X is cancelled, so negative X is equal to 100 minus 42 minus 30 minus 40. Okay, 30 minus 40 is negative 70. So it's going to be 30, it's minus 12, it's equal to minus X. So X is equal to 12%. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I redraw this Venn diagram. So of course that is 12. 40 minus 12 is 28. Your business ability is going to be 30. 30 minus 12 is 18 and 42% on the outside. Okay. So that in red is what gets you 3 marks. Okay. Now, let's go to the next question. Are the two events independent? The question says, show all suitable calculations. For independent events, we know that the probability of C times the probability of B must be equal to the probability of C intersection B. If they are equal, then they are independent. If they're not equal, they are dependent or not independent. Okay. So what's the probability of C? It's 40 out of 100. Probability of B is going to be 30 out of 100. So that's going to give you 40 out of 100 times 30 out of 100. That gives you 3 over 25. Now the probability of A intersection B is 12 out of 100, which is 3 out of 25. So what do you notice? The identity is true. So we state the obvious. Since the probability of C times the probability of B is equal to the probability of C intersection B. Therefore, events C and B are independent. Events B and C are independent events. Okay. So what's his name is evident. The identity. Okay. The last question. Consider the word. We are given this long word here. I'm going to try and say it. The repeated letters are considered as identical letters. This one on your hands up, not up in your mouth. The repeated letters are considered as identical letters. So if we read that, the formula must come to mind. N factorial over M1 factorial times M2 factorial times M3 factorial and so on. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, or should come to mind. So, if you're considering that word, how many letters are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters. So it's going to be 9 factorial over the repeated letters factorial. So it's going to be, there are 2 E's, so it's 2 factorial. There's 2 Z's, 2 factorial. 2 N's, 2 factorial. Okay. So that gives us 9 factorial over 2 factorial times 2 factorial times 2 factorial. Gives you 45,360. You don't have to put 2 factorial there. You can just say 2 times 2 times 2 in the denominator because of the 2 factorial is 2 anyway. So that answer is 45,360. Okay. In question 4.2.2, where it becomes sticky now. Okay. Here we are told, just pull this here on this side. Take this out. So to keep the word in focus. Okay, so we know this is this one's answer. Okay. In 4.2.2, how many word arrangements can be made if the word is starting in with the same letter? Starting in with the same letter, that means the same. There's 9 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it could start with an E and end with an E. Okay. If it does that, so E's are out. Okay. So that would be leaving us with 7 letters. Not so. So this is going to be 1 here. Okay, normally I have to put it on top. The E there and E here. So there's going to be 1 and 1. So it's 7 factorial over the Z's, which is repeated, times the N's that are repeated. Okay. Or I could start with Z and end with a Z. If it does that, then I'm back at this here, which is 1 times 7 factorial over, because the E's are going to be considered as repeated, and the N's are going to be considered repeated. However, when I start and end with an N, which is 1 here, times 7 letters are left, the E's can be repeated and the Z's can be repeated. So what do I notice here? These 3 of the same calculation. Not so. Which means to say that this could be written as 7 factorial over 2 factorial times 2 factorial times 3. So it's going to be 7 factorial over 2 times 2, which is 2 factorial times 2 factorial times 3. Which is 780. Such combination. Then, yes. Then the last question here in 4.2, which is 4.2.3, the question says, determine the probability of selecting a word at random that starts and ends with the same letter. So how do you work out probability? It's a number of favorable outcomes over a number of possible outcomes. That is the favorable outcome. So it's 3780 divided by possible outcomes, which is 45,360. So it's divided by 45,360, gives us 1/12. Okay. So 1 in 12 chance of drawing such a combination. Okay. You want the percentage, you times by 100. What in decimal, you press SD, gives you the decimal format thereof. Okay. I think this was a cool question. Okay. We are told that a librarian wants to classify 75,000 library books in a library. She uses a code to identify each book. Each code uses a capital letter, followed by a series of digits. Now, importantly here, the digits are referring to the numbers 1 to 9. Okay? So digits may be repeated and the digits 1 to 9 are used. An example of such a code is C339. And you can have as many other codes as you like. What is the minimum number of digits that each, so the digits is referring to the numbers, okay? What's the minimum number of digits that each code must have to ensure that each book has a different code? So we can't just say 3 digits or 2 digits, we must show calculation. So when we start off with, okay, the first bit can have how many options? How many letters are there in the alphabet? 26, not some. If you got 1 digit, which means to say how many options do I have here from 1 to 9? 9. So if I have 1 digit, which is 19, basically 2 in the end, it's going to be 26 times 9, which is 234 codes. Okay. What if it's 2 9s, so 2 digits? So we have another 9. We'll have times 3. Remember, we need to be just over 75,000. So it's going to be 2,106, which is still way less than 75,000. Let's go 3 digits. Okay? So it's another 9 involved. So you times it by 3, which is still less than, but it's 18,954. Let's go 4 digits. Another 9. That gives you 170,586, which is way over than 75,000. Not so. So therefore, 4 digits. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Now we say, okay, now we don't like playing guessing games, no problem. We say, okay. Remember that there are 26 here. Okay? However, that can be 999 as much as it takes for you to have a number over 75,000. Okay? So what we say is, okay, it's going to be 26 times 9 in. Okay? Any amount of 9s then, which must then be equal to 75,000. So I divide both sides by 26. So I got 9 in is equal to 75,000 divided by 26. And then in the exponent, apply logs. So n is equal to log 75,000 over 26 base 9. So that would simply be log base 9. You got 75,000 over 26. Gives us an answer of 3,62. So if I'm going to go with less than 3, it will be less than 75,000. And we can't get a 0.62 digit. It has to be 3 or 4. It has to be a natural number. So therefore n is equal to 4 digits. Okay. So that's that. People, the last one. Question 4.4. In a particular leap year, determine the probability that there will be exactly 53 Wednesdays. Okay. People, how many days are there in a year? 365. Not so. And a quarter most, no? In a leap year, there's how many? If it's in non-leap year, it's going to be 365. In a leap year, 366. So I say 366 divided by, they're talking about weeks. Leap year determine the, so we have to determine how many weeks there are in a year. Okay? We know there's 52. Not so. Now, if it's 52 weeks in a year, okay, comma something, then there will be 52. They're going to be 52 Mondays, 52 Tuesdays, 52 Wednesdays, and so on. Not so. So if you say 365 divided by 7, it's not exactly divisible by. Can you see that? So there's comma something. So if you start on a Monday, then there's going to be there's going to be 53 Mondays in that year. Can you see that? Because if I take 52 away from it times 7, which means to say there's 1 day extra. Can you see that? So if you start on a Monday, you will end on a Monday. Can you see that? If you start on a Wednesday, there's only 1 Wednesday left extra. However, in a leap year, 366 divided by 7, that gives you 52 full weeks. Okay? 52 full weeks. And how many days would that be? So minus 52 times 7 gives me 2 days. 52 weeks and 2 days. Which means to say, there's 2 days extra. Okay? So if you start on a Wednesday and end on a Wednesday, first Wednesday, then Thursday. Okay? So that's one option. Those are the 2 days you could have had extra. Or you can start on a Tuesday and end on the Wednesday. So there's 2 combinations like this. Out of how many combinations should you consider? 7. So it would be Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, and Saturday, Sunday. So it's in other words 7 in total. So there's 2 out of 7. And that is your answer there. 2 out of 7. Okay, that's your probability. People, that basically brings us to the end of the cycle test. As you can see, it wasn't that difficult. Okay. People, the 3 people's pieces that are going for moderation, I need your files on the table, please. That is, you can put it, you can file it. Okay. People, enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon, class. The paper and memo can be found in the description box below.